Well guys, welcome to a new video. It's been about a decade since I've done one of these. Please forgive the audio over video right now. I'm doing a narration just because the audio on my microphone was complete garbage when I looked at the footage. And so I ended up having to trash that, and this will be the only video, hopefully, with just an audio overlay. So I do, please pardon me for that. I'm currently doing this just one take, one raw take, because I want to give you guys just the review of this bike. This bike's 2024 Honda CB1000r. I picked it up this year about 6 months ago. For those of you who follow the channel, I was riding on a 2013 Honda CBR 500R. It was a parallel twin, so I've upgraded about 500 cc's and 2 more cylinders. This bike currently, I think, is rated at 146 horsepower and 82 foot-pounds of torque at the crank, which is leaps and bounds more than what I was riding on over a decade ago. But yeah, I'm back on this bike. I love this bike. This bike is fantastic. It's Honda's naked, like Neo Cafe Racer, like street bike, street fighter bike. It's definitely not a super sport. The super sport was the Fireblade, and the Fireblade has about 200 horsepower. So this one's detuned, and I personally prefer it. Where it's at, it's got plenty of usable power. Honda did retard the throttle a little bit on this bike, where when you're at wide open, you're not, the ECU isn't giving you 100% of it wide open. It's kind of a safety thing they built into the stock tune, but if you reflash the tune, a lot of people have been saying that that goes away. A lot of people also have noted that when you're accelerating between 4,000 and 6,000 RPM, there is a torque dip that tuning can fix if you do take it in. It's about $800, but I've heard it's well worth it. Forgive me here, I'm messing with my visor with my GoPro and had a hard time trying to get that visor open with all the gear on the front. Still figuring out this new motovlogging setup. My last setup was a lot different. It was just a GoPro Hero 3 Plus with a wired lapel mic wired into the helmet that I was running. Funny enough, I was running an old LS2 helmet. I know you guys can make fun of me for rocking the LS2. I personally like the LS2, and now currently I'm rocking another LS2 helmet. And yeah, I got the GoPro Hero 8 and the Cardo Pack-Talk Edge. But most of this footage that you're capturing forward facing is on the Hero 8, and then facing me is going to be the Hero 7. All this audio, though, from the bike, the engine noise is off the Hero 7, mounted on the windscreen right there. Let's go ahead and get back to this review of the CB1000R. So another thing I like about this bike is the fact that it's got more of an upright riding style. I've always liked that upright riding style, being 6'5", 220 pounds. I've always wanted a bike that has me sit a little bit more upright rather than hugging the tank. I think you saw in the clip I was reaching down below those handlebars, and that's where like a Super Sport would have their clip-on handlebars located. This one has straight across handlebars, you can see, and it really provides a good ergonomic upright riding position, which gives you the ability for longer rides and a little bit more comfort. Speaking of longer rides, I did put that windscreen on the bike aftermarket. It's the biggest one I could find, because the naked bikes don't really ever come with a windscreen. So I ended up buying that. It does cut some of the wind, but riding a naked fairless bike, you're gonna be eating a ton of wind. Even on a Super Sport, like, you're gonna eat a ton of wind. and that's just the nature of the beast. When I was riding out here, getting out, opening it up a bit, going 67, the bike tacks at around 5,000 RPM, um, which is really good considering red line's at 11 and a half. So you're really not pushing the bike too hard at that speed, which is good. My old bike, the 500R, really had a hard time when I was cruising on the freeway at 70. I think it redlined at like 9.5, and I would be tacking 68, almost 7,000 RPM. So not a lot of room to go, but this bike has plenty of room to go, and so it's been a joy to ride a bigger bike. And if you're comfortable on your 500 or 300 or whatever smaller displacement bike you're on now and you're looking to upgrade, I would highly recommend going to this. Honda does make a 650 variant of the same bike. So if you don't want to quite do the jump to the 1000, you can go 650 and they still look beautiful as always. This bike in particular is the blacked out version that Honda advertised. I think they call it the Midnight Edition or Black Edition, but just everything's blacked out, as you can tell, with some brushed aluminum finishes. This bike, I will say, is pretty flickable. Like you can do some carving, you can, get this bike moving around some turns pretty easily. Even with it being a 1000, you can flick this bike pretty easily. It's really not hard to do at all. But yeah, I have no other complaints about the bike. Again, the seat could always be upgraded aftermarket. From the factory, it's fine for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. If you wanted to ride for longer, you're definitely going to need to get an upgraded cushion put in there. And then I did put some grips on. They're just foam grips on the handlebars to kind of reduce some of the vibration. And then being a wider individual in my shoulders, I had to take the stock rear view mirrors off and do bar end mirrors. But other than those upgrades, the bike is fantastic. No complaints whatsoever. Great bike to just get out, have some fun on, carve it through the canyon, and just have a blast on. But other than that, that's really all I got for you guys in this video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comment section below, and hopefully I get you guys some legit audio in the next video. But other than that, I'm happy to be back, happy to be part of the community again, and look forward to doing this more. Alright guys, ride safe and be safe out there, and I'll see you on the next one.